Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today we got
Kyle McIntyre.
Kyle McIntyre.
All right.
How's it going? What's shaking? What's grooving? What is good in your world?
Well, been busy. Been had a fairly crazy, extended time working. It's nice to have a little bit of a break this weekend. And then something in the house broke. So that was fun. So it kind of felt like work.
Yeah.
So I think it was actually like Thursday night or something. I realized the hot water was not hot. Mm-hmm. Like it was like not, like I feel like it was warm. Like it was still warm. I'm like, okay. So I took a shower and I'm like, all right, it's warm water. It's not hot. Usually the water's like scalding. Like even like when you have we have like a left and a right. So you have the left so the hot water turned up all the way. You got to add like a little bit of the cold just to cut it.
Yeah. Squeaking.
Mix it up.
Some cold.
Because it'll burn the fuck out of you. So, or at least for me.
You'll be like Larry the Lobster when you come out of there.
Yeah, I'm a bitch boiled when it comes to hot water.
You're just all red.
With, like going to a jacuzzi. I hate jacuzzis. I don't know about you. But I'll go into it for like, people go, oh yeah, like hang out for like 20, 30 minutes, whatever. And then I'm like, I'm 5 minutes like, man, this is not fun. Get me out of here. Or like a sauna.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like the last time I went in a jacuzzi. It's probably closer to 7 to 10 years ago.
When was the last time you pissed in a jacuzzi?
The last time I was in a jacuzzi.
Yeah. So
I hear people like, oh, I'll be sick to, just have a jacuzzi and you drink in there. And then I think it was on Tasteless Gentlemen.
All your friends.
That's how you get more fucked up. It's like, I don't know. It's like the science of it. I'm like, no, there's no science to this. There's that moth.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a guest on the podcast this week.
Yeah.
The moth that's inside Kyle's
must have followed
room.
Me in here. It was like the cats were chasing out in the out in the house, but I don't want to kill it, but I might have to because it's it's my room, so gotta know your place.
Yeah, I had to protect my house.
So hot water heater. I probably could have fixed it, but I didn't want to have to go through like I don't know. You have to hunt down parts for it, I have to figure out what's broken on it, and I just figured, it was past its like 6-year warranty on it, which I thought it was. It looked pretty damn new. Like it looks pretty new. Mm-hmm. Like I remember hot water heaters that I've seen before, like my parents' house, or and I'm like, damn, that thing's old as fuck, But this, I'm like, this thing is brand new. But I noticed it was
like huge too. Back, I remember when I was a kid. I think I had to help my dad replace one once or something like that.
Yeah,
or I don't know, remember what it was, but they were huge. But also probably because I was a kid.
Yeah,
and then being like a silo.
Yeah. It was like a rocket.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit!
They're not that heavy, right? Unless they have water in them, then they're really fucking heavy, right?
Yeah.
But so this one, I just kind of like, all right, well, I don't want to pay someone to do this, so I'm gonna kind of do this for my work,
pretty much, right? For a living.
So
like, I am trained to do this. All right.
Yeah.
I guess I'm doing this now.
Yeah. So
I'm my own boss.
I check the voltage on it, make sure it's, take a picture of the data plate on there. So it's got voltage, check the phase, so I'm okay. Let's go look at what one of these costs. I thought it was going to be like $1,500 for one of these things.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah.
But I showed up, it was like $500. I'm like, oh, well, we'll just get the one that is the same gallon size and as close to the same dimension as possible because it fits behind like a door in the storage room. I'm like, all right, I don't want to, because I'm like, oh, we go 50, but it was a little bit wider. I'm like, okay, 40. Not that you have to know my thought process, but 40 gallon, same thing, same voltage, same everything. And then I got the new one home, started draining the old one, and it just would not fucking drain. Like I could not get it to run water out of it. Like it's like, what is this, running through a maze or something? What's the deal? It's like it should go out the bottom hole.
Yeah.
Right? I closed off all the valves.
Yeah.
And then I'm okay. Well, let me leave it. Let me put this back on and let me open this and maybe the pressure. Nothing. Okay, let me open this valve. No. All right, let me put I have like my tire pump that can also blow like air. I might put that thing on there. Just jammed it on there. Nothing. No difference. I'm like, fuck this thing. So I just let it sit and just like trickle out. And then I'm like, well, that's probably part of the problem.
Yeah.
Is the scale is built up on the inside enough where it is clogging holes, or at least covered the heating elements, and they're probably burnt out or something. So, and of course, it's 1 year past the warranty on there. Not that it was ever like registered or anything or whatever was done with it, but
yeah,
when we were looking through, because we got paperwork from when we got the house, when we paid for it, when we did all the process, they gave us like, oh, here's the heating, here's paperwork for all this stuff. Okay, cool. And then I'm like, I went and looked at that shit. I'm like, where's the fucking hot water heater? I'm like, this thing's brand fucking new. Looking through it, I'm like, all right, let me look on the heater, and it's like 2015. I'm like, oh, this thing's not that new.
Yeah,
this thing's pretty damn old. So, it's pretty easy. Just I couldn't. It still had water in it, so I just kind of wheeled it. I like rolled it out of the room.
Yeah,
I took the door off of the side room there. Put the new one in, set it up.
You have AC in your house?
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
fuck yeah.
That shit just.
You remember there was AC, dude? Well, it was also really cold here.
Yeah, it was cold, so I don't think we put on.
Yeah, that was the AC, dude.
Yeah, it just works in the opposite direction. It gets hotter. The air is conditioned to be hotter.
Yeah, yeah. I conditioned to be hot. You conditioned to be hot. We're all air conditioners.
Yeah.
No. It's from It's Always Sunny. So, let's see. I put the new one in, and this little trick for all you guys out there: always fill the tank first. So don't even wire it up. Mine's electric. Some people might have gas, but always fill the tank. So pop open a valve somewhere else in the house, turn on the cold, let it fill up, and push all the air out of the tank itself, and then wire it. Then hit your breaker. Just because if you don't do that, you'll fuck it up. So
okay,
it's a little
word of the wise out there.
Yeah, so,
Kyle's tips
anyway.
and tricks.
So I looked up. Probably saved about $2,000 to $3,000 by doing it myself.
There you go.
So
now you can fucking buy a Mobius, dude.
Yeah, it's like that's like 10% of what you save. No, still, yeah. No, we couldn't have afforded that anyways. I'm just glad that it wasn't not that hard. So,
yeah.
Anyways, that was, and then after I felt very, very accomplished, I went and did some weed whacking.
Yeah.
Also, I was listening to my picking back up on, we talked about a little bit on the Patreon, but I said a lot actually on, I took a break from the Dark Tower series, so I'm on book 5, so I just kind of picked that back up.
Oh yeah.
Excellent series so far. It's weird, but great. Check it out. Another thing that is new is, I think I talked about the cat's gonna go in for some operation.
Mm-hmm.
They got spayed neutered.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's been rough actually for the girl, for Peavey.
Yeah.
She was like super loopy coming out of, obviously if you just got your, guts all, fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's all hissing at everyone, acting all crazy and swatting.
Yeah.
And then, but anyways, they're through that. They're out of their pain, because I know Colin Smith likes a little update on my cats.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was just kind of hard to watch her be in that state because she was in so much pain, and it's kind of like, well, I can't really do anything. Like, I can put this collar on you and like leave you alone. That's what I can do. Like, here's your pain pill that you get one a day.
Yeah. That's with like animals. It's like you can't really do much. They're kind of like, all right, they're gonna heal.
Yeah, exactly. And so they're doing good, and we did them both at the same time.
Yeah.
So
just fuck them both up.
Yeah, exactly. We figured that if we're gonna live through a nightmare, we might as well do both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Titan was like sad. Oh, he looks super sad all the time. Anyways, he just looks super
droopy
emo.
ears. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, with droopy ears, he looks down at the ground. But now he's got this heavy ass like cone on his head that's actually like for a dog because we couldn't find a cat one that was like adjustable in the way that the dog ones are. Like it wasn't okay. So we have a couple different ones, right?
Yeah.
We have like the ones with the drawstrings that you pull, and they're funny looking like donuts or like, a shark coming out. So they're like fluffy, plushy ones, so they just can't lick themselves. But he gets out of those. He's just like, fuck that. He's so strong. He just pulls his head right through. So we're like, all right, well, we got him a dog one, and the dog one is like heavy. So he walks around like his head bobs.
Yeah.
Like he's doing like he's the Home Depot cat, the dun 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 dun. Yeah, he just walks through a room.
He's just vibing. Well, that was like when Herman, like he would have like surgeries done or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, he need to get him a cone. So I'm like, oh, he's a small dog. Let's get a small cone. But his nose was like he was a dachshund, so his snout was so long, it didn't do anything. He's like, oh, I can still lick. He's like, oh shit, okay. So the
medium dog.
The vet was like, okay, we got to get him a bigger one. And then so he basically had like a lampshade on his head. He's like, so you see this little dog, like, and he would like, you'd hear him pop, because he's not used to. He'd like walk around and like pop,
bump into things,
hit the wall or a door or something like that. Because he doesn't know how much of the shade is on him.
Yeah. It's good. They're doing good, like I said.
Yeah, in another week or so, it'll be no problem.
Yeah, they'll be fine. I guess on this whole home improvement type of situation that I'm kind of living in.
Yeah.
No, that's Goofy. That's what I was going for. So I started organizing my tools in my outbuilding today.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of moved all my power tools out there. Started cutting some. So there's work surface that just like it's like a U shape around the whole building. It's like why? Like how much of that was like, oh well, there's too much clutter on this. Let me just make another one on the shelf. Oh, you know what? Well, there's a bunch of shit there. Let me just make another work surface. So he's got like the guy who lived here before. It's like a U shape like around the whole building. So I'm probably gonna have to go in there and rip it out. But anyways, I have all my DeWalt tools. I'm like a DeWalt boy now.
Yeah.
I think I talked about that, but I'm looking at more. I want to expand.
More power.
I want more power, baby.
Power, baby.
I want like some polishers. I want trimmers for the. Since I was never thinking of getting like garden tools from DeWalt.
Yeah.
But now I'm buying in.
Yeah.
Ground floor, buying in.
Don't sell out. Buy in.
It's not like it's a up and coming company. So you're buying like what everyone else, like the price everyone else buys it at, and you're not investing really.
Yeah. You're spending your money.
Yeah, you're spending your money. It's not going to grow.
My brand.
Yeah, so that's basically, I'm a DeWalt boy now.
Yeah.
I have a couple like Craftsman things and stuff. I have a lot of Craftsman hand tools, but most of my power tools are DeWalt. So got that 20 volt max baby battery. Those things are fucking sick.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's not really that exciting of a
but,
what's.
You're trying to get shit organized,
Yeah. And coming off of working like, a dog feels nice to like, I want to do stuff I want to do, even if it is working outside in 90-degree temperature and sweating my ass off in a building that doesn't have any cross draft, even though I have all the windows open and the doors open.
Yeah.
And the wind is blowing outside.
But
it's still cooking in there. Yeah. It's like, fuck, who oriented? Okay, I noticed. I never noticed this before. I've been in there a bunch of times. There's windows only on one side of the building, like also in a U shape, but in it, there's like 4 windows and they're all on like one side of the building, basically. I'm like, how does that help? Like, where's the air coming through here?
Yeah.
And I open the door, still nothing. Felt like a force field was keeping like the air
just
out.
Hot and stagnant.
Yeah. It was hot today, so I was thinking, man, if I redo this and pull all this nasty smoke-ridden drywall and pull everything out, put some nice paneling around the outside because it's a little rotten. Might do some insulation.
Mm-hmm.
Throw some new drywall up. Throw an AC in there.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean,
carpet the floor.
Get a workstation
Maybe
going
not.
on.
Damn, it'd be sick. Yeah. Anyways, that is my what's new. What do you got?
Let's see.
Better be good. Better be top line.
So I did. Maybe a couple weeks ago, went to go see a comedy show. With Johnny Ray. It was just it was a duet. It was I think Eric couldn't make it.
Oh, a date night for the boys.
Yep. I went to go see Harland Williams. So he is the actor. He was the cop that drank the piss in Dumb and Dumber. You know?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then he was also,
Rocket Man.
Nasty Nate, yeah. In Half Baked. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's funny. And he's in comedy movies, and he's, I guess, a comedian also.
Comedic actor, and also that's crazy. I didn't know he did stand up.
Yeah, so he was cool. There. He was pretty good. Like it's funny just to like see like his way of like doing stand up is like the jokes are like punny and they're like dad jokes, but it's like a build up to it. So he'd go and then he'd get everybody and he'd say it's like wah wah wah. and like it was pretty good just to kind of see that. But like to me, I'm like, all right, I've been looking and I'm seeing just tons of comedy shows and almost like no music, live music. Because I don't know, nothing that I really want to see is coming through. Or
you're such a great artist yourself that like nothing can ever top
nothing can
you.
Compare. I don't think so. No, I guess there was like the Green Day tour with Weezer and Fall Out Boy last summer, but I was just like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, that was one I probably could have saw. Did you get him?
Sorry, I got him. Sorry.
Yes. Woo. But
I had to do it.
Yeah, had to do it to him. That was like one, but I'm like, it's funny because I'm like, the next, I think in maybe a couple weeks, gonna go see Stavros from Cumtown.
Oh,
so it's like
rescheduled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
nice.
At the same club, American Comedy Club. So yeah, it's I don't know, I'm having fun just because it's like some of these shows are like $10, and then 2 drink minimum, which you're probably gonna want to drink anyways when you're watching comedy.
Yeah,
it really adds to. It's just like I guess with everything. I was about to say with comedy, I'm like. No, having a couple drinks and watching a movie, that's cool. Having a couple drinks and watching a live band, that's cool.
Shane's going to be here.
Yeah, Shane's coming to Austin in July?
I think it's June. Yeah.
I think McCusker is coming to Austin next week.
Oh, really?
McCuskey. Yeah, you should go check him out. It'd be great if they went together, but I'm sure.
Okay, so I type in Matt McCusker on Google. Okay, yeah. I know, I get it. It doesn't come up with stand-up comedian like I just typed in those two, Shane Gillis, and also it said stand-up comedian or comedian, whatever. This is author. Matt McCusker, author.
From
on Google, like the very underneath the suggestion, Matt McCusker, author.
Well, yeah, he has a book, Overlook. Which is one that they talked about it a long time ago on the Old Testament. They were gonna have I think Shane was gonna read it and be an audio for the audiobook, but they never put it out. I'm like, that would be one that I would buy the audiobook for.
Dang, I might want to see him.
Yeah,
let's see.
Wish he would come to San Diego, but yeah. So
it's too far, dude.
Just seeing live music. It's fun, or not live music. Seeing live comedy is a lot of fun. So I'm just waiting for bands that I like to come through. But I'll wait. I don't know. I keep looking. I'm like, there's nothing. I think the one that I was really waiting for was the Flatliners. Like they have not rescheduled. That Cavalcade tour. The album, my favorite album of theirs. They were gonna play front to back, and because it was like 10-year anniversary. But nope, they're probably not gonna reschedule it. They're like, yep.
No.
You. But
what you got?
So, kind of speaking of Johnny here, he brought over.
I see it.
Yep, he brought over his bass. is Peavey
T40.
Yeah, T40 bass. It's American made. I think 80s bass.
Made in Mississippi.
Yeah, and this thing is, it's pretty fucking sick. So it's a double humbucker bass. So you have your pickup selection at the top here, bass, or sorry, not bass, but volume and tone for each pickup, and then this is a phase switch. So in and out of phase, you get different sounds.
Damn.
So you get a lot of, and
you
then
get a lot of sounds with that.
String through body.
Yeah, that basically is like a jazz and a P bass killer, basically.
Yeah, and or like a Music Man Stingray.
Yeah.
So
it's
like
like
sorry for people or audio. So 2 humbuckers, so neck and bridge, and it is a solid bass, heavy bass.
Damn, I've been looking at those.
Well, Johnny got his for really cheap, and the word is out on these fucking things.
Fuck.
Because they're like 1,200 or at least 1,000 plus on Reverb. So I was like looking, I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. So he gave it to me because he pulled it out of storage. He's like, oh, I want to get this set up. He's like, well, you mentioned on the show that you want to kind of get better at it. So you want to fuck around with it? And I'm like, all right. So I did notice that the neck is bowed, but back. So it's bent back.
Bent back?
Instead of forward. So instead of like going forward, like fret side, which a lot of basses
Fender.
A lot of basses that I have, that's kind of what they do. They'll bend because the string tension is pulling, the neck. So constantly, however you play, it's kind of going that way. But this one is opposite. So I was noticing, Johnny didn't notice like a lot of fret buzz or whatever, but this might, affect his action. I'm gonna try and get a little straighter there. So, or a little less bent back relief, and then just intonate it and reset the strings.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. These strings are very old, so he's like, talking to Johnny, he's like, I never change my strings. I usually have the people who repair my basses change the strings. That's when I change the strings. Not because he can't, it's just because he doesn't care or really want to. He is definitely likes a little bit more of the kind of bassier. I mean, he even plays flat wounds on some of his basses.
Oh, God, don't remind me. Fucking traitor. No, he's always played flat.
And then played finger style. So it's like less attack than a pick. And I was just kind of jamming around on that thing. It's really cool.
There is one up in Pasadena for $680.
Okay.
Pick up only though, so you got to pick it up for me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. I was looking at them. I'm like,
no knobs.
Yeah, they're pretty cool looking basses too. And even like kind of the 80s Peavey headstock, it's not unattractive.
Yeah. It's true. It's like not the Fender style. Not, that I usually go like, if it's not Fender, I don't fucking want it. But it's like, oh, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, and then all the hardware on it's really fucking chunky. Like this bridge is
huge.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing.
It's thick. it's very with substantial with a Q. Yeah, it's very. It's a high mass bridge, and then it's also string through. Like these saddles are fucking like the size of like I don't know, gum pieces. Like bubble gum. Even bigger than that. Like I'm like, holy shit. So Peavey was really doing it back in the day. I think they still are, but when this made in USA stuff, I think people are definitely catching on to the quality of those instruments. And they're like, oh wait, this would be rad. And even like the old amps and shit that they would do. It's like people are like, oh, these things are they're keeping it alive, keeping it going. Like for being that old and the amps are still rocking, like the 90s ones and shit like that. They're like, oh yeah, okay. I wish my fucking car would last that long.
Well, it's done pretty well.
No, I'm just saying. Or people had like 90s cars or something like that.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna ride that thing as long as some of these American-made amps back in the day.
Yeah.
But
no, definitely. I'm looking into those. T40s. I might have to pick me up one.
Yeah, they come in black and then white too, and even though those sound like boring colors, they look rad in this bass.
They do.
So
and they have like even the natural finishes looks like they vary quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
They do like there's like a cherry looking one too, or a sunburst. That's what it is. It's like a cherry burst maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, and a sunburst. Fuck.
And
damn. Yeah. Let me just label them all. But yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to get a setup going on that one. So he gave me strings. So he's like, okay, put new strings on, set it up. I'm like, all right. So I'll do my damnedest to set it up how I like it. And I think Johnny is a super nice guy, and he's not super particular. He's like, yeah, whatever. I think he even has some basses that are a little, the necks are kind of funky. So he's like, yeah, I can still play it. He's like, I'll make do. So it'll be a good one to kind of just fuck around on my, my skills and see what I could do for this.
Yeah, no, it should be a rad sounding bass. Tons of different sounds you can get out of that thing.
Yeah, we have a gig coming up in like a week and a half or so. So maybe I'll play that at it. Mm-hmm. So I did. So I finished shooting the video for the Tiki guitar from Dan, Wood and Dan. They were he's gonna sell for charity. I got a lot of good shots for it, so I'm super stoked. I already gave it back to him, and then just editing the video now. It's almost done, and I was happy this time because I tried to get a little bit more adventurous with the shots and stuff like that, and like some of the, I don't know, the way I do the video. So like sometimes if the videos that I've done before, I do a lot of talking on camera, and sometimes with that I'm a little like, I'm my own worst critic too, but I'm like I don't like any fuck ups, so I'm like I had to get good long chunks of what I want to say done before, because I wasn't good at editing. I had to say the whole thing. It could be like a minute or 2 minutes long without stumbling.
Damn.
So I wouldn't do any cuts. And then now I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit better, so I can chop things up a little bit, but I also don't want it to be like, so jump cuts a bunch of times, because I'm like, a lot of YouTubers do that, but I'm like, yeah, damn, sometimes I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And
like 3 words.
Yeah, 3 words at a time.
Jump.
Mm-hmm. Jump cuts. And then I was thinking like, one thing that I haven't done is do a lot of B-roll. And since this is showing off the guitar, I want more of the guitar on camera and less of me. It's like, hey guys, here's my dumbass face. Who's talking about a guitar? I'm like, whereas I'm showing more pictures of it and like, footage of like look at the hip shot bridge. Look at this, but these, custom wound pickups, the artwork, blah, blah, blah. And then I am going to do a voiceover over that. I'm like, I am editing the footage and it's just about done. And then I'm just going to record a voiceover. I'm like, man, that's so much easier than doing the talking on camera.
Yeah.
I'm liking the video. It should be done shortly. So basically, I'll send it to Dan and see what he likes or wants me to cut and add. And then I'll publish it. And he's going to kind of use that as like a promo to kind of get people to, because, doing an online purchase of a guitar you've never heard of or seen before. So this he uses it like a commercial is the idea. So yeah, but I was happy, like at least from like I don't know, video recording perspective. I'm like, I tried a bunch of different things that I've been thinking about researching on my camera and videos. I'm like, if I shoot, because most of my videos and even the podcast here, I think the video podcast is 30 frames per second, just because how Zoom records.
Yeah.
But most of my videos, I like having 24 frames per second because it's more, cinematic movie looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what,
That's what Andrew Masters uses.
That's what, and Rhett Shull. And, some people do
all the bros.
Yeah. Peter McKinnon. There's some people that do like 60 frames. I think that's what Phil McKnight does. But you can see his videos. They're good and they're good looking. But I'm like, you look at Red Shoals, I'm like, oh, that's the better looking one. But for guitar video, it's like most people don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of it as like, if I'm trying to do something, I kind of want, put my own little, I don't know, for myself too. I'm not doing these YouTube videos because I'm making money doing it. I'm kind of like, oh, these are projects that I'm working on. I want to see what I can do and how I did it to improve, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And so I was, pretty stoked on it so far. I'm like, oh, this is looking good. But one thing with guitar videos, man, when you're playing it, I'm just like, oh, it's just my gut. It's just like, I'm like, oh,
damn.
Yeah, you're playing guitar. Like, oh, here's the guitar. It's just my fucking gut.
Fucking crushing it. And then you're like, yep.
Yeah, you don't break that guitar with that that piece of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. And then, a lot of this week has just been fucking Nintendo Switch, baby.
Fuck yeah.
It's fucking
crushing.
It's fucking sick. It's probably the worst thing because I'm like, I haven't done a whole lot of guitar playing. I played more bass than guitar. So with band practice,
yeah,
we keep a weekly band practice with or without gigs. I think that's a good, I don't know, thing to have scheduled always. Like, it'll be more often than not that we will say like, hey, I can't practice this week, than like, hey, let's practice this week.
Yeah.
That's a good way to be. That's what we were doing with playing.
Yeah.
We got to that point. It's like every Wednesday. If you can't make the Wednesday, that's when something comes up, or we just skip a week or whatever. This one we're doing every Friday. All right. So, and I like that. I'm like, okay, we just always practice on Fridays. If something comes up, then we'll change it. But, so I'm like, okay, play bass with just in case. We're writing new music, which is, it's fun. Some of these songs, I'm like, okay, I'm maybe just kind of like it's cool because I'm just throwing in ideas. It really like starts off with Adam's riff or whatever kind of idea he has. I'm like, okay, what about this? Which a lot of times I'll throw in stuff that like, I kind of would lean on with playing, like always kind of like ending with, the fifth of like a progression maybe. Cause I'm like, oh, it has a natural resolve.
Yeah.
And then, or if you're doing like a chorus, like I make it like a relative major or minor. And then he's like, Adam's a completely different writer. He's like, I don't really like doing that because it's kind of like more of like what you're supposed to do with music. So that's why I never do it. But I'm like, okay, when was the last time you did it? He's like, well, never, or like, 15 years ago. I'm like, well, let's just try it now. So you have all your ideas. And then my ideas, we just throw that in there. I was like, oh, actually, that does work out. It's not everything, but it's like, okay, it's kind of cool. It's like coming from a completely, him and Brian have been playing music, since they were kids. So for forever. And I'm kind of just, 6 years I've been in that band. So now I'm like, okay, we're in the writing phase. I'm like, okay, we're a little bit more familiar with each other. I'm like, okay, we can start throwing ideas. And it could also be like that we are all songwriters, that I could be like, I have an idea, and they're not gonna be like, or that we're more mature or older. If you were like, 20, be like, fuck you, don't fucking change my song, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, mate, I'm fucking made this song.
You fucking pieces, I'll fucking do you.
Get out of here, you fucking wanker.
Whereas,
that's exactly how it used to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days.
The good old days. Whereas, like, you can have suggestions and you can just try them out and see what works. And then it's a lot of fun. And then there's this song that's like super groovy that we're doing. So it's like
groovy, baby.
Well, yeah, it really grooves. And it's like, I can't even say like the picking. It's in 4/4, but Adam's like I can't even say what it does. But I'm like, you expect me to? I can't follow that. And I'm like, not that I couldn't learn it, but I'm like, as the first initial jam, I'm like, I can't keep, it's super choppy and it's rhythmic, and I'm like,
yeah,
I can hear the, 1, 2, 3. But I'm like, I can't play his picking pattern, and I was like, it's really essentially just 3 notes, and I'm like, you know what? What if I, I play less notes. This is where I'm like, I'm a smarter bass player because I'm playing less. I'm letting the guitar speak. Like, no, you're playing less because you're not that good. Like, I go, like a bass line, like boom, boom, dun, 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 ba, 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 where he's going, he's doing all these like crazy staccatos and stuff like that. And I'm like, and then we were playing, and where Brian, he's kind of doing the same thing. He's doing like, I'm matching just my bass notes to his kicks. And then where Adam's going off, and I'm like, we're all looking at each other, I'm like, that's great. And I'm like, I kind of just like, here's a simple bass line, see if they like it. They like it.
I'm in, baby.
All I do is like, I'm basically just kind of hitting the same, with the note of his chord, kind of just going, here's that root, back, boom, and then just hitting the roots. But I'm like, rhythmically, I'm like,
root
I'm not
and octave, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun just kind of messing around, like trying to think like a bass player, as opposed to like thinking like a guitar player. Because as a guitar player,
instead of thinking like an idiot,
not that Adam's an idiot.
No, I'm just saying, guitarist.
For me, because and your first idea would be just to match whatever the guitar's doing. Yeah, this I'm like, oh man, I could play less notes, and then I'm still killing it. This is great.
And everyone still loves me.
Here's a little secret, folks. As a bass player, you can play less, and people like it.
Yeah, you don't.
But yeah, no, Anyway, so I'm like, when I think I'm like, oh, I'm not playing guitar at home, but I'm still playing bass in a band, and then just fucking around. Like, luckily Johnny, gave me his bass, I think on Sunday or Saturday or whatever, so I can actually like, okay, let me put down the Nintendo and actually like play guitar. And I played his bass. God damn it, Mom.
Mom.
One more level. I'm not died. I haven't died yet.
Got fucking 4 lives, Mom.
Yeah. So that's kind of my what's new. I guess my AirPods were crapping out. So that's one thing I wanted to maybe bring to the room if people had any suggestions other than AirPods. So hear me out. So I bought my AirPods like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, the right ear pod was like, it sounded like the speaker was blown. It was like, bzz, and it was like, zzz, 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 like almost like a buzz rattle thing. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn it. Well, so on one hand, I thought, like, 3 years, that's no fucking things don't last anymore. And on the other hand, I'm like, I wear
these used to be made in China. Wait, no, they still are.
Still are, sir.
They just changed the factory.
Back in my day, these were made in China. Now they're made in China. I use the shit out of them. Like, I don't know if like for my headphones, like they're my main drivers. I listen to them all the fucking time. Like, I'm at work, I'm at home. Like,
that's why they broke.
I was like, stop using them.
Yeah, that's what I did with mine. I haven't used mine in a while.
Yeah, I
want to start using them again.
I wish I had like a daily usage of how much I use those things, because I'm like, it's like, was it say 6 hours or whatever charging or whatever, or how long it can last up to or whatever. Yeah. But the thing is, if you listen to just one at a time, you just swap them, so their other one's constantly charging, and so I'm listening, so they're always getting used.
That's why.
Well, yeah, because I'm using them, and so that's fine, because I still want to continue to use them. I don't want to buy something.
That's the point. I get it. That's the point of buying them, is to use them. I understand that.
But stop it.
Yeah. But come on.
So, but anyways, that was as of yesterday. And then today, out of nowhere, I think it was because I like flipped on Spotify and I listened to Matt and Shane, and they started working again. No problem. Yeah. No buzzes. I think because my AirPods are like, what are we doing? We're listening to Tasteless Gentlemen? No. Can't handle the bass of Dom King. We need to go back to McCusker and Shane.
The tinny voice of McCusker.
Yeah. So I don't know. It could have been just like because sometimes with these AirPods, they'll update if they're next to your phone, so they'll automatically kind of update. So there could have been maybe like some glitch or whatever. But eventually they're gonna shit the bed. And my whole thing is like, it could even be tomorrow that they just because I'm like I said, I wear them all the damn time.
Yeah.
Like if I'm let's say working on the computer, like photos or whatever, even some of the video edits that I'm doing, because I'm just basically like looking at how it visually looks, because I already know that the audio is synced. Yeah. I'm just have my AirPods in. If I'm playing games especially, you better believe I have my AirPods in. So anyways, I'm just thinking, I'm like, if they did go, should I get Raycons? Because do you like yours?
Yeah, I did like them. I believe that they're probably better sounding headphones, but they probably are more expensive, right? But
no, I bet the AirPods are more expensive and they sound worse.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. They're like $150 or $170 for AirPods.
I haven't checked what Raycons are up to now, but
if you get the Pros, that's $250.
Yeah, and you just find some random asshole who's selling them. Yeah, they're $80, and then you could get them like with whatever. Find a random YouTuber,
yeah,
who's selling with their code, and you get like 15% off or something.
Yeah, I know. Like Tuesdays with Stories has a code, and Tim Dillon or whatever.
Tim Dillon, I think. Even is it? I mean, I think I used Donut Operator.
Yeah.
Also, was it Matt? Demo Matt. So like guys in my world, use them too. So yeah, they're good. I think they were overly bassy. And maybe it was just I couldn't EQ them the way I wanted to, or But I think that's people like bass, and I'm like, like when you get a rental car. This is one thing. You get a rental car, or you drive your friend's car, and like the bass is turned all the way up.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. At my work, I work in warehouse or whatever. So usually most people are doing the like one earbud trick, and then they have like a walkie for store communication. And almost everybody has AirPods. You can just see the white thing, right?
Yeah.
And then some people
they need to be a different color.
Some people they do the Pros or whatever. There's one dude. He's an outlier. He's got an Android. He's got Raycons. I'm like, all right, dude. Lay it on me straight. Are these good? You like these things? Or are you just like so against Apple? He's like, well, I mean, I don't like Apple, but
well, you got me there.
Well, I'm not an Apple guy, so I use PC, Android, and Raycons. It's like think of everything to not be Apple.
They have different levels of Raycons too. So they do like they have their fitness too. So there's like $80, $120. So they have like better ones, but I think the $120 ones are like waterproof.
Okay.
So you're like, oh, cool. I'm never gonna need that.
Well, your boy gets sweaty sometimes. Your boy gets in it.
Like greased up, dude.
Greased up, sauced up. Yeah. So, anyway, so that's kind of like my own. What's new? Eventually, I'm gonna have to get some, wireless earbuds, and I don't know if I'm gonna go AirPods or Raycon or if there's something else out there.
And they have them in white, so if you like really like the white look,
I don't.
But they have them in rose gold too.
And I was saying to you, I'm like, okay,
black.
You blasted for 3 years, and eventually they're gonna crap out. But I'm like, they work fine. I've almost never had a problem with them. And I'm sure with everything else, sometimes there's a connection thing. You gotta, kind of restart it or whatever, and then it connects right away.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of weighing out my odds here. Anyways, so long what's new. Actually, probably should have been cut off 15 minutes ago. So let's get into a topic. So this is a loose one that you and I were kind of going off on. I was texting you. I'm like, oh, dude, because you pretty much have a blank, canvas, as you could say, for the decor in your house.
Yeah.
If I remember, there was just a mirror in the hallway, right?
Yeah.
Something.
And a mirror in the bathroom there too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you had the Miku poster in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And that
was get rid of that.
No, keep it. Yeah. Get it framed so you can just move it to a different room. So
I can't figure out.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'll just put it over the window here. I'll just put it
yeah,
facing out though.
Isn't that facing the street?
Yeah, so people are like, what the fuck is going on over
this
there?
Fucking loser.
Let's go kick this guy's ass.
Looks like a pretty cool ass dude.
Looks like a pretty tough dude. We probably should look out.
Real ass dude.
If he looks at you, don't look back. Don't look at him in the eyes.
Yeah. So, I was saying like, oh, dude, what if you? Because you were mentioning an episode or two ago, you needed more hangers because you have also so many guitars in San Diego, let alone guitars there in Texas. And I was like, what if you got more hangers and started hanging them throughout the house? I'm like, would Carrie? She be
not
into
a bachelor anymore, Brian.
Yeah, but they're cool looking guitars, right?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of was something like I totally know that would be like, that's dumb. It's like, we got this house and I don't want you to fuck it up.
Maybe. I've never asked my wife, can we hang guitars in other parts of the house? It's probably a no. I'm just going to say.
But yeah, that'll save on storage, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I wouldn't have to put 70 holes in one wall over here. Behind me. I get to spread them out wall. A little bit. yeah, exactly. There's like 400 pounds of guitars on that wall. You sure that's structural?
So that kind of sparked me thinking about like, okay, well, what about like guitar, like decor? I know we've seen like some people who have like those like Fender bar stools that are like, they have like Fender posters, shit like that. But a lot of that stuff is like, consolidated or put into like, a guitar room or what people would call like, my man cave or whatever.
Yeah.
And like people say, oh, here's my man cave. They got a pool table. They got the guitar stuff on the walls, the custom shop sign or whatever.
Budweiser light hanging over the pool table.
Yeah.
Damn, that's sick.
Damn. That's what I need. That's your room is the one that you're in now. You can't fit a pool table, but you try and shove one in anyways. You can't. So you instead of to podcast, you have to lay across the table like this. Like, hey Brian, so how's your week going?
I'm just like right here.
Yeah, you're right there. But I was just thinking like, okay. Guitar. What is like acceptable as far as like guitar, like furniture, guitar decor?
Man. I think it's okay to have like a guitar. Maybe if you have like limited, I don't know. I guess you could. I've seen it in people's living rooms and stuff, but when it gets too much, it's like you don't have any paint showing on the walls. You have your guitars, and under the guitars you have a poster. It's like of that artist that, maybe not signature model, but it's like, oh, here's a Jazz Master. Well, fucking this one artist played Jazz Master, so here's a Jazz Master, and here's the artist that played that. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then here's a bassist, and there's a bass in front of it. It's like, I've seen that before. But I think that's a little too much, but I guess if you dial it back, maybe like an acoustic guitar, like people have it on a stand, like next to like their sofa,
Okay, yeah, I've seen that.
That's not really decor though, I guess.
Hanging on the wall.
Yeah, or like in the bookshelf, like the little mini like Frankenstrat, like Van Halen.
So like the little like
Edmund von Hohenheim.
Yeah, EVH. Where people could have like little guitar, I don't know, models or like
the little pop one. That was it. You have a pop
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, with a guitar.
Yeah. But that
I didn't even know he played guitar. So that's
Spider-Punk.
Cool. Is that canon?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think so.
I actually have no idea what the hell that's from. I'm like,
there's
like a video game only thing that like it's like Spider-Punk, but he has a guitar.
Yeah.
And then it's like if people could decorate their house. I mean, any way they want, really.
Yeah.
But
who are we to say?
Exactly, totally. And I'm not even saying it's bad. That's what I'm saying. The guitar thing, what I was getting at, I think this is cool, and I don't know if maybe listeners are on my side. Is the horizontal guitar hangers? Like, I think they're pretty cool.
This is like something you see in a guitar store.
Yeah, but what if you had your favorite guitar? You could hang it on the wall. Like maybe you don't play it all the time. I was honestly thinking about getting one of these. So this is from the brand String Swing. So kind of see a hook to the wall there, and then you cradle it like via the neck and the body, and yeah, you have your guitar horizontal guitar wall mount, and like so you can just display your guitar in your spot.
Yeah,
yeah,
great looking.
No, you were saying it's like. What do you say? Like it's Boomer City. It's
yeah, Boomtown population. You dude.
Well, I was thinking about like finding because I don't play it all that often, but eventually like it's kind of like gets the point away of like, oh, why even have the fucking guitar? Like for my red Strat, I was gonna see if I can find a way to display it somewhere because I'm like, oh, it's really cool guitar. I don't play it all too often or as much as I should or whatever, or as I could. And I'm like, oh, I just put it up on like it's like a guitar display because I'm like, oh, it's my first guitar, and then you said like it's so stupid. I'm like, oh, well, maybe he's right.
Okay.
No.
I'm in Stevie Ray Vaughan territory over here, so I probably should get some Stevie Ray Vaughan. At least guitar, just make one of my own, spend $3,000 on replica.
Yeah. Or you get Stevie Ray Vaughan poster.
Or a poster.
Or you could try like first like listening to a Stevie Ray Vaughan song.
Jesus Christ.
That's all asking for a lot.
Why would I fucking do that? No, I mean, he's from Dallas anyways. Fuck that guy.
You're from San Diego.
Yeah.
No,
dude.
Austin, born and raised. You don't even live in Austin.
You see this hat, dude?
Bass Pro Shop?
We have one close, 30, 40 miles away. We got one to close by.
Yeah. Do you have a Bass Pro Shop out there or is it Cabela's?
No, we got both. We got both of them.
Oh, shit.
We're rolling in it.
We're just rolling in these trucker hats.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, some acceptable posters are probably okay.
Yeah,
I was thinking tapestries too. I like the idea of having tapestries on the wall. Something else to collect dust. Holds on to it. Yeah. You have to wash it. No, I like that idea because it's like I don't know. It's not shiny. It doesn't rip. You can kind of hang it anywhere. Posters like you have to really, if you want to keep them, you got to kind of frame them.
Yeah. And then there's like the frames that I have for my posters. They suck. I just went to like maybe Michael's, yeah, and like they're like cracking and shit. Like,
well, when did you do that? Think about when
2013, 2014.
Okay,
so
it's a long time ago. It's like
but I'm like, okay, how much do I got to spend on a really nice fucking frame for a poster?
Yeah, you do.
And then
They're
saying
expensive.
all this, yeah, because to me, my idea, like, what would be some
not
really
everyone runs across this, okay?
Yeah, that's awesome. You should just have your sister paint a bunch of pictures of you and just have them throughout your house.
I should have her paint full-size pictures of my guitars.
Yeah, and then you can hang them at the house. And then Gary, it's art. Hello?
Yeah. What, are you going to offend my sister? No.
She's like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Bring it on.
That.
I got some other choice words for her too.
What?
Carrie just starts teeing off.
You're just making like drama,
making shit up.
My sister's gonna hear this. What? What is it? I don't know.
No. What's going on? It's all made up. I never even bought a Switch.
Yeah,
this whole podcast is a sham. Kyle doesn't even live in Texas.
No.
He lives in. No.
So what's acceptable, right? We're trying to get.
I don't know. This was like such a loose
what's
topic.
Boomer?
What's acceptable level of boomer? So my guitar stand, is that boomer?
Yeah,
I mean that's the question.
The
I'm asking.
hanging one, yes, I would say so. I think you're allowed to have one of those. If you do all your guitars,
so I would
hanging on those things.
Ooh, what if you did a vertical wall of like the horizontal guitar?
That's what I'm saying. It's like you're walking up to a NAMM display.
Okay. Yeah, I get where I'm picking up where you're coming from.
Yeah. It's in, you walk into someone else's house.
Like,
it's kind of what it feels like when you walk up to the NAMM displays. It's like you're walking into someone's living room and they have the guitars. I remember the Fano display and the what's the other company? I can't remember. Novo.
Okay.
They had their guitars. Obviously, a lot of them have them like that. But
did we ever go to a Novo?
Yeah, they had one on the bottom floor last year. 3 years ago.
I know they had Revolta down there.
Well, okay. They had some guitars with them. So Revolta.
Yeah.
They had a couple of they may have had 2 or 3 of like the Ceres or whatever they call them.
Okay. I would like to play one of those.
They're sick. Yeah, I couldn't get in there. I was like, excuse me, sir.
Pardon me?
I want to fucking scratch your guitar. I want to scratch my fucking shitty watch on it.
I can't wait to scratch that fucker up. I brought my metal pick today.
Yeah.
You have to go out of your way to buy one of those. I know.
I know. You wouldn't believe the shipping on this.
Expedited shipping so I can get here and fuck up guitar. Yeah.
You should see the Fender booth.
You should see
400 guitars all scratched up.
When you're just playing your demo riff. You just
yeah, wow.
You play it unplugged but so loud that you can still hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, no one was looking. I snuck into the custom shop spot.
Yeah, you're like all excited. Yeah.
Those were customer guitars.
Please, can I scratch your guitar? I like that you're just trying to like push your way through. It's like not to do anything but destroy the fucking thing.
Yeah.
I remember we were at the Gibson booth and they were like, it was an effort of them trying to be like, cool,
Yeah.
Of like having like cool booths or whatever that people can play whatever. It's cool. And I was just like, let me grab the most expensive guitars. So it's like $7,000. I'm like, let me just play like ding. And then the guy who was there, he's like, okay, I guess he can play it. There's no signs
we did
that say
bring
don't.
that here.
Yeah.
You shipped it from fucking Nashville here. So we couldn't play it? Why?
Yeah. And then I found the one that had like a Native American like like a Native American guy like etched into it. And I'm like,
like burnt into it.
I'm like,
who is this for?
For me.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
I don't want it. And I'm like, for me. And if somebody came up to me, excuse me, sir, I'm like, I'm Blackfoot. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, holy shit, just take it, please. We don't want no trouble. We don't want any trouble.
I was robbed of the opportunity to steal this guitar, and I'm taking it now.
I don't want it. I just want to scratch it.
Yeah. Ooh, you got any guitars I can scratch?
You got any guitars?
The limited edition custom artist made. That's what that was. It was like,
yeah,
they had a bunch of guitars that were like, that's cool. And then you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Were you bored when you made this?
Yeah, I don't even think I played it. I think I just took a picture of it. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, I think it was you couldn't play it.
Yeah, I think that was one I didn't. I like some of those ones where I just.
It was an exhibit.
I just took a picture of it. I'm like, what the hell? Who asked for this?
Yeah, no, but nobody wants that.
No, they didn't. Yeah, have the Epiphones, which those are pretty sick. Anyways, what are we talking about?
Of which Epiphones? What are you talking
about? The new ones with the new, at the time they were new with like the cooler looking headstock, which it looks like a Gibson headstock.
Oh,
yeah, those are cool. Actually, yeah, I've seen SGs, and then different like 335s of those. Yeah, we talked about that, right? With like the new 335 Epiphones, where it has like the Gibson looking headstock. I'm like, oh my god. I think Eric Mero did a video. I'm like, that seems pretty cool. I don't need any more guitars.
Doesn't Dave Grohl have a 333 style Gibson? But it's got like a different. It's got like the different headstock on it, almost like the Fender style.
Thunderbird headstock,
but not reverse
or Firebird.
Yeah,
yeah.
So which I never noticed it until I watched like a music video the other day, and I was like, oh, that's
I think it's
He's probably been playing that forever.
335 or something like that.
Okay.
But
Okay. Can you tell from a distance?
well, the 333 is basically like I could be wrong, but I'm gonna just lean into it. It's like a 335, but it's just the more affordable version. So less extravagant finishes, dot inlays,
backloaded.
Yeah, and it has a back plate cut out, so you can just fucking install and change the electronics, which should be there anyways.
Yeah, all should be like that.
Yeah, Epiphones don't even have that. At least I don't think the 335s do. You know, I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass.
Yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
This whole episode is just talking out my ass.
That's why it stinks.
You just showing your ass. Anyways, I don't know. This was like a topic that like people were like, "What the hell what was the topic?"
I don't even know what it was.
Exactly. Me neither.
Gotcha.
So listener, gotcha.
Next time you're in a guitar store, scratch up those guitars. That's the moral of the story. You walk in, guys are like, how's it going? What can I be find? You got any guitars I can scratch?
You just play with a nail.
Yeah, like a nail. Like a framing nail for a house. Or like a fucking drywall screw.
It fucks up the strings and the guitar. So that's the moral of the story. Kyle's word of the wise. Fill up your fucking hot water tank or water heater tank and scratch up guitars.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get on out of here. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Just want to say thank you for tuning into the Tone Jerks podcast. If you like what you hear, you can follow along on social media and tell a friend about it. You know, tell them
or an enemy. Or an enemy.
Yeah. There you go. Equal opportunity jerkers around here. So we got social media there. We got on Facebook. We have a Facebook group and a Facebook page. The group is linked in the description of the podcast. The page, they don't usually because nothing goes on over there, but you'll like it anyways. And then it sold that well. And then we're on Instagram at the Tone Jerks, posting cool shit on the reg over there. And then we're on YouTube. So if you're not watching this, there's a video for the podcast. And probably the past maybe few months, I don't know. I think at the beginning of the year we started doing video. So I'm liking it. So we got video podcast over there. So you can see maybe sometimes we do a little bit more extended video because of like there's some content that doesn't just translate at all to audio. So I just cut that shit out. So maybe you get a little, more bang for your buck over there. And so subscribe over there, like the videos, and shit like that. Keep an eye out for my gut and guitar demo that I have coming out. And then if you really like what you hear, you can help support the show on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. But if you double down for $2 a month, you get an extra episode every week. You get an RSS feed to your favorite podcatcher. You can listen to all the bonus episodes. There's over 200. Maybe 220, 230 bonus Patreon episodes over there.
And we read your name.
Yeah. And then we will also
give
you a huge shout out, a sizable acknowledgement. Kyle, you got a list over there?
Yep.
With the updated names, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why don't you give it to...
I have Andrew Walsh from Andrew's Alcove on Instagram and also the Second Button Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a Seinfeld listen, watch along podcast with Brian Gower, our very own here. Just the two of us.
Yeah.
Our very own Brian Gower.
One of the many co-hosts of this show.
Yeah. Abe Newman, Michael Newman, Nicholas Payson, Nicholas Ogburn, Doug King, Doug Chris from 37 Effects, Masters of the Cinematic Universe, and also the Just Surprise Me podcast. I tripped over a different part that I don't usually trip over. That's cool. How now, brown cow? Joe from Like My Pedals and the I flipped this and I was reading it like it. Hold on. Joe from Like My Pedals, Masters of the Cinematic Universe, and also the Just Surprise Me podcast. We have Will Lehue from the Just Surprise Me podcast, and Tony DeGraw, who moonlights every once in a while.
Yeah, he's on there.
He's on those podcasts all the time. He also has his own podcast, the Signal Path podcast. We have Teletalks. We have RJ Smith, who's on that. He runs that.
Yeah.
We have a Stream Talk and Repeat also that he's doing. Jamie Davis. Holden Johnson.
A little tamer than the last one.
Probably. It's probably a little better.
Yeah.
We're not getting canceled on that one. Holden Johnson. Jason Fuzzmonger.
He's gonna ramp the next one up.
Oh yeah. He's like, what? That's not good enough for you? Steve Rao from 60 Cycle Hum. Kevin E. Quits from Equits Guitars. Co Schneider from Night Tides. I think they won the something, right? They didn't win, but they're in the next bracket.
Yeah.
So
his band, check out them on social media. They're doing a contest for a local radio station out there.
So I think he'll post it again.
Yeah.
For for voting. So everyone who voted, thank you. I mean, I'm sure that's from Co. Co says thank you.
Yeah.
And so do I, because it'll be over soon. We don't have to deal with it anymore.
The only time he texts me is about his goddamn band.
Yeah, fuck. Or he says good morning, or good morning, fellas, or have a great weekend. God, what a dick.
What a fucking asshole. He's a nice guy.
Brian Nutter. Yeah, he also has Patreon. What a fucking asshole.
Fucking asshole, if you ask me.
No, he'll post in our group, follow the prompts and place your vote.
Yeah.
Obviously, vote for him.
He's a nice guy. We're not.
Yeah. Brian Nutter of Nutter Guitars. Oh, did I say Alvaro Viramontes? I did now. Mel Chibson of Chibson Guitars. Sean Arbo from Gun Street Wiring Shop. Sean Fahey.
Text you something nice and you're like, God, quit fucking around on my phone.
Yeah, I'm fucking busy.
Doing what? Masturbating.
You're blowing up my screen.
I'm going limp on me.
You're taking away my data. Yeah. I'm trying to max this out. Sean Fahey of Shadowhounds. Sean Wright.
4K.
Yeah. Fucking down to 320p, bitch. Sean Wright from Lollygagger Effects. Juan Ortiz from Tone Hungry Effects. Mike Oxbig. Hugh G-Rection.
Oh, yeah.
Should I move? What's where is it? Where is it here?
Holden Johnson.
Oh, Holden Johnson. Down with the boys.
Yeah. If there's any room down there.
Next, yeah.
It's all blown out down there.
Yeah, fuck. Don't have a fighting chance down there.
Yeah.
All right. Mike Oxbig, Hugh G-Rection. Use a fucking cock. Use a fucking cock. Zach Hale, Eric Merrow from Elm Effects, Scott Hamilton from the Effects Loop podcast, Tim Noack from Bardic Audio Devices, Jonathan Jerezik from 12th Hour Devices, Tyler Rhines from Tyler Casey Riffs on Instagram, Matthew Fenslaw, formerly Michael Fenslaw, Michael McVeigh, and Matthew Davis. And that's the list.
All right. And then, Kyle and I are trying to get more guests on the show. Because now that Zoom is, or I figured it out, it's more reliable.
Stable,
the way we record podcasts. So we're trying to get that going again. And so far, not been successful. Nobody's been. It's hard to schedule guests.
We'll get them.
It's like, oh, can you record this time? No, I can record never. Okay, yeah.
We'll get them one of these days.
One of these days. And until then, anyways, we'll work that out. So if you have guests that we should try and get, let us know. And we will get shot down by them.
Yeah.
Until then.
We're used to it.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.